Dance Music Mentor podcast with Frank DFusion. My mission? Helping DJs and producers to find their place in the dance music industry. Hello and welcome to the brand new Dance Music Mentor podcast. My name's Frank DFusion and I'm a DJ, producer and songwriter based in London, UK, with over 25 years of experience in DJing, producing and promoting electronic and dance music. I've got some great experience and achievements in my career, including a Beatport Top 100 House Chart release. I've DJed in many countries, including Ministry of Sound here in London and also in Ibiza and Mexico. I've worked for and with many big brands in the industry like Yamaha, Korg, Native Instruments, Brighton Music Conference and iDJ Magazine. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my insights, experiences, lessons learned and tips for improving your own music career and opportunities. Think of me as your very own dance music mentor to help guide you through the maze of the music industry and decisions you'll be making. I've walked the walk and made many mistakes along the way, which have helped me to make better decisions and focus my efforts in the best areas for success. And with my guidance and insights, you can learn from this and make better decisions for yourself right off the bat. So before we get started, if you want to stay connected to this free podcast, please hit the subscribe button in the app or site you're listening to this on, or follow me on Facebook/Frank DFusion, that's the letter D, or my blog site, dancemusicmentor.net, or my YouTube channel, and you'll see any new articles and content I post in the future. Also, if you're interested in signing up to my mailing list to receive free remixes and DJ mixes, tip sheets, cheat sheets, etc., please head over to my Facebook/Frank DFusion and hit the sign up button at the top. Disclaimer. Please note I'm in no way financially linked or benefiting from any of the products or sites mentioned in this article. Any opinion expressed is my own. Right, let's get into this week's episode. Episode 1. 10 reasons why remix and DJ competitions are bad for your mental health. In this episode, I'll be talking about the rise in popularity of remix and DJ competitions, how they're run, why they can have a negative effect on your mental health, and how to harness these opportunities for a way more positive outcome for you and your music. Okay, so if you're an up-and-coming producer or DJ, I'm sure you've seen adverts on social media and popular music sites for remix competitions or DJ competitions, offering a chance to win fame, fortune and notoriety, which can open doors to the insiders, movers, shakers of the industry, etc., places that are difficult to reach and highly desirable to most producers. But what these organisers don't tell you is that how getting involved can have a negative and detrimental effect on you, can kill your enthusiasm, leave you bitter and put you off creating more music. As so often in the music industry, there is no care of duty towards your own mental health and well-being. And in reality, you're promised a dream but actually sold a dud. Well, it's even worse than that actually. You've opened yourself up for some pretty dangerous psychological damage, including rejection, wasted time, doubting your own ability and talent, regret, and resulting negative feelings towards the organisers, artists, and partners involved. I've been exactly in this situation a few times now, with hopes of making new connections in the industry with labels and managers, daydreaming of being chosen as a winner and how that would open doors for me. But sadly, it didn't happen. However, due to my own mental determination and being someone who wants to fix things and learn from mistakes so that I don't make those mistakes again, I've turned all that negativity into something positive and practical, lessons learned, and useful advice for me and you to take on board. So because I've experienced this and learned from it, I want to share my insights with you so you can at least know what you're getting involved with or letting yourself in for, so you can make a more informed decision, but better yet, how you can use remix and DJ competitions to your own advantage and achieve guaranteed results and outputs that you can actually use to boost your own profile and attract new followers or new label interest. So here are the 10 reasons why remix and DJ competitions are bad for your mental health. I'll run through the list quickly and then explain each point with either factual examples or other information to support. Number 1. 99% of entries are rejected. The chances are you'll be in that 99%. Number 2. The negative effects of losing outweigh the benefits. Number 3. Your time and effort are not rewarded, therefore devalued. Number 4. The competitions are not always run fairly. Number 5. It's not always clear what style or genre is being sought. Number 6. There's no way to know your entry will actually be listened to. Number 7. The organisers might be looking to steal your ideas. Number 8. The main reason for the competition may be to get publicity, not finding new talent. Number 9. The organisers may already have a winner in mind. And number 10, where are the winners now? Okay, so let's go through each point in a little more detail to gain some more insight. Number 1, 99% of entries are rejected. It's most likely that your entry will be rejected and won't make the cut, even if you think you've created something unique and special, as they usually only pick 1 or 2 tracks as the winning entries, and often these are in a style that is different or complementary to the original or other official remixes. So this means you're setting yourself up for rejection after all that hard work you've put in. I mean, if this were a lottery ticket, you'd feel way less bothered, right? Because it only takes a few seconds of your effort to buy one, and it's a very low investment for you financially. So when you don't win, you don't feel put out because you didn't get your hopes up. But that's not what's happening here. You've invested many hours of your precious time, your perspiration, inspiration, listening back, adjusting, tweaking, mixing down, maybe mastering time and cost too. So when you don't win, you're gonna feel more than just disappointed for sure. That's only human. Your dreams of winning are dashed and you feel disillusioned, possibly angry. The negative feelings and thoughts will start affecting you in many ways. Possibly in a similar way to being rejected for a job interview that you've prepared hard for, or if a love interest rejects you. Rejection can knock your confidence, put you off the whole process you spent so many hours on, and have a detrimental effect on your music mental health. Because the chances are that you'll more likely be rejected than accepted, the list of negative effects this can have on you are way more impactful and likely than the benefits. Here's a list of real actual emotions and thoughts I experienced after being rejected from several competitions. I felt negative towards the organisers, partner sites, labels, A&R people. I'm constantly reminded about these when I shop for new music and in my social media streams. It made me feel that my music was not up to the professional standard I thought it was. It made me feel stupid for wasting all the time I spent working on it. I could have produced and released my own tracks and DJ mixes using that time better. I also felt I wasn't given a fair chance. Number 3, your time and efforts are not rewarded. Being rejected devalues your time and productivity. You now have an entry that has one huge negative attribute from the start, failure. And at best, all you can do is put it up on SoundCloud as a free download and gain a few new likes from it. A much better reward for you is to spend this time making your own track or finding an artist who'll joyfully accept your remix and allow you to split the royalties 50-50 with them. Or even better, a remix fee. Or make your own track with stock samples or other sonic hooks that you'll have 100% control over and can send to labels or release yourself. Number 4, the competitions are not always run fairly. I have some real experience and stories to tell you here about some of the remix competitions I've entered. The first story is where I actually produced 2 remixes for a competition where the artist clearly stated a deadline for all entries and said that they would be personally judging the entries. I launched into it with much enthusiasm, making around 10 draft ideas, then finishing 2 of those in about 2 weeks and submitted them 2 weeks before the deadline. I thought to myself, great job. These remixes felt like they had real identity, had new melodic content, new hooks, and combined my style and vibe with the artists. Then in the deadline week, the announcement came, I'm extending the deadline for another 2 weeks. This really narked me off because I made such a lot of effort to meet the deadline, showing professionalism and time management skills. Then the artist announced that they would be sharing the tracks out to all their fans to vote on. I was so annoyed that the rules had been changed twice that I withdrew my entries from the competition. This was my first lesson learned that even the organisers break their own rules, and this was disrespectful to all those who got their entries in on time. I watched from the sidelines as the winner was announced and was amazed to hear it was such a wildly different style from the artist's own sound or vibe. I thought this was ridiculous. I mean, I have to say the track was really well produced with excellent effects, but it felt really low energy, almost sleepy, and not the club sound that the artist is known for. In another recent remix competition for an A-list high-profile artist, I studied the artist's catalogue and label releases and aimed my remix for this sort of vibe or genre. The winning entry was totally different from the label sound and also left me scratching my head as to how they arrived at the decision. To date, the remix is yet to be released on the associated label, which was one of the promised prizes of the competition. Number 5, it's not always clear or stated what style of genre or track or DJ mix they're looking for. I can say from experience this applies to almost all of the competitions I've entered. Why are they not specific about this? Well, I can speculate here. It could be to widen the scope of entries and give the competition a wider appeal. Yet this makes it even more of a lottery as to which entries will be chosen. You could spend 20 hours making the best darn new D&B remix of a track, as they said, all genres considered. Then they choose an ambient down-tempo track as the winner. A good example of this, which I can mention, is the 2019 Songlines Sir David Attenborough remix competition, utilising an old Balinese gamelan sample recorded by Attenborough around 1930. In a BBC article dated May 2019, the headline description was, David Attenborough WLTM would like to meet trance producer, and then went on to state, the broadcaster who has brought the natural world into millions of homes is seeking a DJ to remix a field recording he made in Bali 70 years ago. He's asking them to turn a 3-minute recording of sacred gamelan music into a club-worthy Ibiza anthem. Looking back at that now, I'm trying not to chuckle a little bit. When I was sent this link and gave it around 10 seconds thought, I quickly drew the conclusion that this is one of the most ridiculous and badly designed competition briefs I'd seen in recent times. I mean, it's a huge ask to convert such an ethnic, percussive and dissonant instrument or phrase into an Ibiza trance anthem and would require some pretty big names to do it. And most would turn it down based on the unguaranteeable outcome alone. As to the accuracy of the article and reporting, I'll let you draw your own conclusions there. Another competition I entered in 2020 was to record a DJ mix for the chance to win a DJ set at a huge techno party in East London. The headline acts for the gig were top draw A-list in techno, so I planned and programmed a set that would work for an earlier DJ slot. As how would I, a new name, win a peak time slot? So my mix started with some warm-up tracks and then peaked with some well-produced melodic techno and a few remixes. I posted the mix online and then hit up a load of friends to give it a play and like on the chosen platform. This worked well. I received 150 or more likes. Quite a few other club DJs produced similar sets, ranging from techno to house to new disco, as the gig was in a techno club. So when they announced the winner, I was again astounded to find out it wasn't a club DJ set. It was a funk, soul and world music radio show. Totally inappropriate for this techno party. I then realised that the winner wouldn't have been playing in the main room, but probably the first warm-up set in the very much smaller side room. What a farce. Completely false advertising and inaccurate brief of what they were looking for. Number 6, there's no way to know the organisers listen to all the entries. On this point, all you have is the word of the organisers or the artist that someone will listen to your entry. With the best of intentions, once they receive in excess of 100 entries, possibly as much as 1,000 entries or more, they now have to spend between 10 and 100 hours going through all of the submissions. As this process can be repetitive and onerous, they might do it with the artist, but time is money, and 100 hours, 3 working weeks, is a lot of time to spend not doing the core work of the label or artist. So they'll probably palm off much of this work to an intern or split it between all of their resources. Someone may not listen to all of your remix. They may give it a 5 to 10 second play and skip through it, and only if it gets their attention do they give it a more focused listen or share it with the managers. So again, all your hard work may not even get listened to. Number 7, a controversial one. The organisers might be looking to steal your ideas. You may or may not have penned the next huge sound for next season's Ibiza or Miami Winter Music Conference, but if a label or artist is looking for ideas to find a new sound or song idea, getting 100 budding producers to send in their ideas is one surefire way to source large amount of new ideas, grooves, beats, arrangements and hooks, and at zero cost to them. Even if they don't set out to steal ideas, just by listening to your composition and track ideas, they may hear something that sits in their brain unconsciously, and then later on it comes out, surprise surprise, in a creative session. They can't quite remember where this idea came from as they scratch their head, but they listen back to it and decide to use it. All thanks to you and your hard work. Except you get no thanks, no opportunity, no money for it. Imagine you then hear this track on the radio or in a club. Surely you'd be really narked off. Again, this could easily make you feel bitter and twisted towards your efforts and give you a huge negative to deal with every time you think of making some music. I've seen similar schemes operated by music publishers, where they send out a demo instrumental to budding top-line writers and then wait to see what ideas come in. All that work undertaken by writers, and hardly any of it gets used or paid for. I think it's wise to be aware of these practices and know when and how you're being taken advantage of. Why is the company not prepared to pay their staff writers for the time to write these top lines? Maybe they can't afford it, so they just invite hopefuls to try. It's no loss to them, is it? Number 8. The main reason for the competition may be to get publicity, not find new talent. It's plain to see when a remix competition is launched, this creates much free publicity for the competition in the media, social media and in amateur music communities. If they didn't get this publicity, I question, would they still run the competition? All that time and effort to review all the submissions and just 1 or 2 chosen entries to then sell alongside the original and commissioned remixes in this difficult time of devalued music. Number 9. The organisers may already have a winner in mind. Perhaps they already have a remix they want to market and create the illusion that it was submitted as part of a competition. That's a simple way to raise the profile of their new remix. Number 10. And finally, where are the winners now? Well, the answer for the competitions I was part of is nowhere special, as far as I can see on social media. Some of these winners have incredibly small fan bases and track play counts. Here are some real examples and figures. For the Techno Remix winner, they have 18 SoundCloud followers, 193 Facebook followers, 31 monthly listeners on Spotify, no subscribers on YouTube, and the remix has not been released 7 months after the end of the competition. For the House Remix winner, the remix was released, was publicised. They've currently got 615 SoundCloud followers, although they may have had a decent amount to start with. 2,000 plays on the track on SoundCloud with 22 likes, and that is 1% of plays liked it. On Facebook, they've got 1,300 followers, but their average post has about 5 to 8 likes. On Spotify, they've got 1.8k monthly listeners, which is pretty good. And on YouTube, the track has had 4.1k plays with 126 likes. Again, that's actually only 3% of people who played it liked it. For the remix winner 3 of the Progressive House remix, the remix was released. The winner has got 150 SoundCloud followers. Again, I think they had a fair amount to start with. They haven't really grown. 580 Facebook followers. The tracks had 200 plays on YouTube. And for the Techno Club DJ competition, the gig sadly got cancelled because it was right at the start of the pandemic, and I can't even find any trace of the announcements of who won it online anymore. Conclusions then. Having said all this, I'm sure that not all competitions are bad for your mental health, as long as you're aware of how things may turn out, how they're run, and feel that you can deal with the negatives if you don't win. The reason I've shared all this information around remix competitions is not to disillusion you or make you feel there are less opportunities or paths to success, but rather to help you understand what you're dealing with and where else you can focus your efforts and energies that will return back some results for you to celebrate and build on, and not destroy your confidence or mental health, but build it up and strengthen it. There are still many ways to achieve success in your music career, so all you need to think about is which activities and projects are going to get you a step closer to your goals and dreams. Now, I'll be exploring many ways to help DJs and producers in future episodes, where I'll share many insights I've made and advice I've found is useful, and even recommend other activities, training, podcasts, or technology to help you improve or up your game. If you are thinking of entering any remix or DJ competition, I have a free guide for you to download and get you thinking of all the useful things that you can do to make something really impressive. It's full of advice, ideas, tips, do's and don'ts to help guide you in how to use remix competitions to your advantage. If you'd like this free guide, all you need to do is sign up to my mailing list and you'll receive an email and link to the PDF document. The easiest way to sign up is to visit either my Facebook /Frank DFusion, that's letter D for Delta, or email me at info@frankdfusion.com asking for the remix comp guide. Simples. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for listening, I really appreciate it. And please don't forget, if you found this podcast interesting or useful, hit that subscribe button to be alerted to all my future free episodes. If you have some feedback, please leave me a comment. I'd really like to know what you think. Or you can ask a question in the comments on your podcast player app, or head over to my dancemusicmentor.blog, where this episode exists in written form, or my Facebook, Frank DFusion, or my YouTube channel. And finally, just a quick mention about my services I offer that you might be interested in. I'm an experienced electronic music producer, remixer. I can record high quality vocals, cover vocals using some amazing vocal talent, as well as write you a new original top-line vocal. I also can help you with track recording and tuition in Cubase 10 software, as well as produce a track for you, also known as ghost production. So, thanks for listening. I look forward to sharing more insights and ideas with you in the next episode. The Dance Music Mentor podcast with Frank DFusion. My mission? Helping DJs and producers to find their place in the dance music industry.